Hi guys, I'm ExactChaos and welcome to the brand new Monday morning stream, probably Sunday evening where you are, and we're gonna play Endzone, A World Apart. It's brand new, it's still in closed beta. It'll drop on Steam somewhere at the start of April. As you can see on the screen, they've got disclaimers that it's still, it's really new. It'll go into early access on Steam in April, but I think it's a game with a lot of potential and we're going to get into it. I did check around with it a little bit. It is difficult, and so we will try our best to survive. I am seeing the bandwidth could be a little bit of an issue. I'm seeing a lot of dropped frames and so on, so I don't know, with everybody working at home, I think bandwidth may be a problem, so I do encourage you to drop the quality on your end as much as you can for a smooth stream. Do know that is not always great. So let's get straight into this. Hi Mother Earth, welcome to the stream. Okay, so let's go with a new game. I'm not too sure about all of these things just yet. A settlement name, we will call it Chaos Colony, and that is probably what it's going to be. Okay, and we will just leave everything else pretty much as is, because I don't yet know what effects it's going to have. Distance to water definitely short. That's fine. That's fine. We'll just leave everything else as is. That's the map seed if you wanted to play along. I do believe you can still get access to the closed beta by going directly to the Endzone website and supporting the team there. Okay, so let's get straight into this. The graphics is pretty apocalyptic, and I like it. It's pretty cool. There's stuff. This game reminds me a whole lot about Banished. And potentially it's the backstory that Banished always needed, I think. This seems to be the suitable place to settle. You know what we learned back in the Endzone. Basic needs first. We need to install water and food supply, and afterwards, okay, let's build ourselves a new home. Okay, so let's pause the game, zoom out. Distance to water is an interesting one in this map. There's a lot of stuff. As you can see, the map is huge. It's really big, and there's seems to be lots of little water supplies. Okay, there's a number of things here. We need to look at moisture levels. So if we're going to try and farm something, we would probably want to do it in a location where it is even more moist, because drought comes by really, really quickly. So that's one of the things we need to consider. The other thing is radiation. So there are some patches of radiation around, and that is getting even a little to the medium side. So we need to be mindful of the radiation. And also this moves. The radiation is dynamic. As dust storms and sandstorms and stuff comes by, we find ourselves with all kinds of different types of radiation around. Okay, let's switch all of that off. So let's have a quick look. What we have over here, there's a number of things that we need to kind of find in our environment. Water, food, wood, scrap. Then there's tools that we need to make. There's radiation protective gear that we need to develop. There's pharmaceuticals, either herbs or actual pharmaceuticals or medicine. Then there's cloth and metal and plastic and electronics and coal. So there's a lot of resources that we effectively need to go and grab. We've got radiation level up here, we've got average settler confidence, and then we've got average settler health up here, also showing us what the number of adults and the number of children are. We've got down here at the bottom of the screen, we've got obviously the moisture and radiation overlays, but we also have a little bit of a weather thing. So weather is going to be really important here because it'll help us determine whether there's drought, whether there's rain, all these kind of good things. So this map seems suitable. I believe we can do some fishing over here. We could probably get our water from here. So if we look at it, there's a lot of stuff you can build, and my understanding is this will just keep growing. So let's go and look at water straight away. So some of the basics in terms of getting water seems to be a boardwalk. So let's see if we can use this area exactly. We can use this area to grab water out of this very little pond over here, which will dry up, but all of them will dry up. So in terms of my plays, so the little bit of time that I spent playing it to get used to it, it's pretty straightforward that things will dry up. I wonder, we could get 2 in here. So this could be our water gathering piece. So let's we'll straight away get ourselves a boardwalk so that the guys can go and fetch the water over there. They then also need to store the water somewhere. And I'm not too sure whether a water tower, which we can't build at the moment, or a cistern is, do they do exactly the same thing? Or what the case is. But anyway, we'll start with a cistern. And I'm kind of tempted to place it here so that there's more room on the water for potentially another. Actually, we could overlap. Yeah, we could overlap there. I want to do that so that we can do a nice grid. So we'll do the cistern over there. And then under logistics, we've got some roads. So what I'll do is I will start. And I need to click and yeah. Start it off like this. Now, very similar to Banished, you need to assign builders, and you've got that settler role there that is actually the person that's going to be dragging things along. So we'll set 5 people to building straight away, and then we'll start moving them to water collection. Okay, so we'll get the game unpaused, and we'll start looking at that straight away. What we also want to do is we will want to start collecting some scrap. So scrap is stuff that you've got going on over here. And I also want to make sure that we are starting to, make a little bit of room for our settlement. So if we go to tasks, there's all kind of in this one menu. I want to kind of say, well, collect everything you can over here, but just this little piece. So hopefully the guys will come over, collect the scrap and a couple of trees from there. And I'm hoping they'll collect these piles as well. Otherwise, we need a scrapper or something like that to sort that out. The thing I found with this game is, yes, your basic needs are really important to get online really quickly. But also, if you become complacent for too long, people's confidence starts to drop. So you need to constantly be pushing the boundaries of adding more facilities and services to your town. If you don't, people start getting unhappy because everything gets. If I pause the game, well, we won't pause it. It's just very slow. If you look at this, right, there's a number of things that provide people with confidence, and that takes confidence away. Do they have a child? Do they have electricity? Do they have food? Do they have water? Is there a market? All kinds of things. Graveyards, pubs, fireplace, community fireplace, home, all these kind of things. So, and if you just kind of think, oh, well, at the moment, everybody's +2, they start getting unhappy about the other stuff really, really quickly. So you do need to make sure that you do that, that you sort that out. So we've got the cistern available now. We can put a water carrier in there. But we don't have the boardwalk built yet. So I don't know if that's very useful until we get the boardwalk built. In terms of food, our options are fields, plantations, fishing huts, gathering huts, and hunting lodges. I found the fishing huts work really well to get a lot of food quickly. But they go away during droughts, so we need to be sure to find all kinds of stuff, and we need to, just like in Banished, there's some very big similarities between the games, but this is obviously very nicely themed. You need to ramp up your production of food and water really, really quickly. Really quickly. Is this thing built? Okay, so that's done. Now I can put some people to water carrying. I'll start off with we'll drop a few people over there. We start off with a humble 3, I think 3, just so we can get that cistern pretty full pretty quickly. Okay. The next thing we need to look at is food. So what are we going to do in terms of food? And I think a basic field is probably not a bad idea. But we do also need to find ourselves something that's a little bit more long term. A plantation provides food like fruits and nuts from trees. Can be placed without construction cost, but needs time to grow. So how long does it take? I haven't played with the plantation before, but plantation seems like it should be something pretty decent. Maybe we'll start off with a little field somewhere. Okay, let's say we extend that. Okay, let's grab the logistics. I just want to try and lay it out pretty well. So let's build a little road that goes out like this. Yeah, because I think that's going to go off to the fishing hut anyway. Yeah, so potentially let's do a little something like that up to there. And what we'll do is we'll take this area over here. Ooh. We seem to start lose a bit of moisture. It's pretty dry, so potentially what we need to do is we need to put a field, but I don't think these things are going to stay this way. Anyway, I think a little field over here is probably the right idea. Later you'll have to do irrigation, so maybe we should do the field over here. Okay, let's do that. I want to leave a bit of room for the town. I like the fact that you can keep the overlay on while building. So this is kind of what we need to do. Oh, there's some maxes and stuff that you need to maintain. Okay, let's try that again. Let's do 10 by 15 and we'll start it in that corner. You can do 15 by 15, so you can't do more than that, but let's do a 10 by 15 like so. Obviously they're going to need to come and chop down those things over there, so those trees. So let's do that. We are collecting little bits of scrap, but we need to get ourselves sorted pretty quickly. Are we starting to see some water come in? We'll speed it up a little bit because there's now a few things we need to do here. Let's I'm kind of tempted to stop this this scrap pickup over here. We've got a fair bit going on. Let's dismantle the zone for now. We'll come back to that. We need the food to start growing very quickly. Okay. Slow and steady. Okay, those trees are being dropped down. I'm hoping we're getting the wood as they drop that down. Oh yeah, there they go. There they go with the wood all the way back over here. So what we'll do is we will place a little bit of what is it called? It's called... oh, we probably need to put someone on the farming duty. So we'll put 2 farmers on there now. We'll remove a builder. And we'll see. Our water is coming up quite nicely. So that's pretty good. What under logistics? We've got a depository. Which effectively is like a warehouse. Okay, there we go. So now we need to say, what kind of seeds are we going to plant? So we've got the option to do something that grows really quickly and gives us a little bit less food. How quickly is this? Wow, peppers are really quick. Maybe we should do that. Maybe we should just go, because I think you get into something like, oh, potatoes, look at that yield, but it takes you so long to grow them. This is less than a season to grow peppers. So I think I'm going to go with that and see if that is going to work. So we're going to grow peppers over here. Okay, let's set that. So we'll get that going straight away. I do think I want to get a fishing harbor or whatever going straight away. We do get some side missions and stuff from time to time, and it's a good indication of where you should be at in the game. So that is definitely something to be mindful of. Also, where are my... Oh, there's only very little bits of scrap here. So we almost finished these piles over here. Okay, it's raining at the moment and it's dark. And I hope you can see, even because I can hardly see what's going on. You do get electricity later. And it's one of those things that you are going to need. So our water isn't quite as steady as I would have liked it to be. And okay, so let's see. So what's the next thing that we need to do now that we've got? Is the field growing some stuff? Yes, the field is growing some stuff. The next thing we're going to need is we need to start looking at resources. So a scrap a scrapyard is something where you assign people and they can then go and work. And this ring, you don't have to worry about this ring in its where it is at the moment. You can just basically start moving the work area yourself. So you can slowly start moving it from one area to another. I think I'm going to start by placing the scrap yard over here. We do need to get scrap sorted out pretty quickly. We then need to find out where we're going to put the forester's lodge, which is also a bit of a thing. So we'll start it over there. Food industry over here, general industry maybe around this area, and then housing maybe down here, or even forestry could even be in here somewhere. So it might be that we do that. Okay, there we've got another adult available. So let's just see who's working what. We don't have a salvager, but this thing isn't up and running just yet. Are we collecting enough water? I'm kind of thinking let's add another person. Let's add 2 more people to the water while we have them kind of idling around. Let's add 2 more people to the water so that we can fill this guy up as quickly as we possibly can. Later, we also need to start worrying about how we're going to deal with radiation and all these kind of things. And we're actually going to need to start worrying about that pretty quickly. Our peppers are coming along nicely. We're still working on the little road there. This thing, we have enough wood and we have enough scrap for that to be built. So we should get that built pretty quickly as well. And then I'm keen to maybe get a depository up as well as the fishing. And then it's time for houses. Definitely. We can't wait on the houses much longer. But basic resources first is a good thing. I think peppers was the right thing to do over here. Look at how quickly this is growing. This is gonna help us a lot. This is gonna help us a lot. Oh, they're starting to harvest already. That's nice. That's very nice. Getting our food in there early is good. Look at that water there as well, going up quite nicely. Yes, so as soon as this is done, we'll move on to housing, I think. We can still cut down on, we can still do the lumber thing a little bit. I'll trim back down on water carriers by 1. We'll add a salvager. We'll add an extra salvager. I think that should be okay. 2 salvagers should be fine. What I'm going to do is I'm going to just move the work area over here. So we just clear this area first. And then they can go and move to the other side. Okay, so these guys can do that. Now, houses is the next thing. We'll do it as best we can, but I'm also thinking maybe we should also get ourselves the depository in place so that we can deal with that. So depository, I'll just squeeze it in over there right next to the scrapper or the scrapyard. And then this should be pretty close for these guys as well. Actually, if we move it closer this way, it's less walking for if we do the fishing thing over here also. And it's a little bit further. Okay, let's do it something like, I don't want to get too close to the water with it. So let's do something like that for the depository. And then what we're going to do is we're going to grab ourselves the houses. So let's get that up. We are doing what we're trying to get everything done so quickly. The population won't grow until we have houses. What is this saying? Homeless settlers build houses? Yes, absolutely. Oh, okay, now people are starting to get unhappy with it. So the situation is such that we do need to start bringing in some houses. So I was thinking we'll do maybe this section over here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Oh, no. Then that's not quite what I had in mind. Am I? Hang on, I can't see. Can we cancel this thing? Cancel that. Cancel that. Let's try that one more time. Nice and close, and nice and close. So why? So there's something wrong over here. Let's cancel these. I'll try not to be too OCD about these things, but I do need this game. You also want to be fairly space efficient, I would imagine. These games typically have that space efficiency thing that you need to deal with. Can you please build this depository first? Waiting on the last few bits and pieces over there. Scrap and some wood, and yes, we definitely need to get our lumber stuff coming up. Our food situation is not great. These guys are picking food, but I'm not sure we're getting there quickly enough, actually. I am not sure. So there are people saying that they're getting hungry and all these kind of things. So I think we need to move on to the... Can you please finish this first? Okay, fine. If you don't want to finish that first, just do what you can. See, if you've got the materials close by, it goes really, really quickly. So that's why you would want to make sure that you've got depositories pretty much everywhere. I've got another person available. I think it's fine for now. Okay, so people should now kind of have houses. When that last house opens up, we should be fine. Hopefully this will make sure that we get food through a little quicker. And another house built. So now everybody has houses, so they should be a little happier. Let's go and get the fishing hut up. I am really thinking that it's important we do that. Can we can squeeze it straight in there, which I think will be a good spot. Will be a very good spot for it. Alternatively, if we do it over here, we can get another one on the other side there. So you don't want these to overlap too much. But alternatively, if you put it here, there's got so much water available to it that it may actually... Oh man, you can put it right there. But I think that spot there is going to be good. We could potentially add another fishing dock in there later, but maybe that's not something we're going to need to do at all. So let's make sure we get the dirt road to go up there. Perfect. So now you'll be very close to the repository. Hopefully that means we're going to get sufficient amounts of people. It wants me to save. Probably a good idea to do so. Probably a very good idea to do so. So let's quickly save that while we're going on. So this is just going to be Chaos Colony. Save the game. There we go. Saving the game, saving the game. Excuse me. Continue. And the game kind of turns around as that goes along. Okay, so let's speed things up a little bit. The basic game speed is just not quite good enough, so we'll hopefully get it there. Okay, the next thing we need to do, so let's get that built. It should be built pretty quickly. How many people do we have? So the issue is going to be now we're going to start running out of people to work all of these facilities. So we'll definitely keep an eye on that to ensure that we get a little bit more people. But people will start. We will start seeing children now that we have houses. So we'll hopefully see some stuff going on now. Some growth. One of the things we do need to do is get our lumber yard up, because that's going to be a problem. So let's get resources in here, or a forester's lodge. And the idea behind the forester's lodge is that they don't only cut down trees, but they also do the new ones. Okay, and now we're running out of food. Let's quickly see. Oh, that's done. Okay, let's quickly add people to that. Definitely want to add at least 2 fishers there, and hopefully that means that our food here will come in a little bit quicker, because really our first drought, it's at least not quite there yet. Our first drought is not around the corner just yet, but we do need to get it there. Why does one person not have a house now? Anyway, we need... And now there's no scrapper? What? Oh, no. We finished the area. That's what this is kind of saying. This area is all cleaned out of scrap, but that's what we wanted to do. Let's clean out this area over here. Oh, there's not a lot there, but anyway, let's go ahead and clean out that area. We do need to make sure that we get tons of scrap, and then we can come and move over here and all these kind of things. The other thing that I wanted to do was make sure we've got the forester's lodge coming in. And I wanted to decentralize it a little bit. So let's say we'll place it something like this, right? I think that's a pretty decent idea. Or even maybe something like that, so that we kind of say, well, that's going to be the end of it, and we'll move the work area. So we don't want that area to be forested. We'll put it in there. We'll grab ourselves some roads, and what we'll do is we'll have the road coming up here. Let's quickly fill in, let's quickly fill in these bits of roads over here. Okay, so we've got some roads coming in. I'm hoping our food is gonna, can you please, oh, you're coming from work? Yeah, we probably need another little pathway all the way that way. We need another house. You need to keep people so happy in this game, otherwise it just doesn't work. So what I'll do is I will start doing a second round of houses like this. So we'll just start off with a 1 because we only need 1 right now, because I want this to be built, and we should get that built fairly quickly, because we need some foresters out there. We are running behind. And then our protective gear and tools is going to start diminishing very quickly, so we need to get into our first industries fairly quickly. We will be running out of people to work all of these things, so we just need to make sure that we do what we can. How's the fishing going? There's all kinds of stuff that you can have a look. You can see who's working there. You can see kind of how much we are generating. You can see if it's powered or not. You know, what was its consumption. Anyway, current season, only 60 fish for the moment. So we're not doing great on the food front, and I'm a little worried by that. So maybe we need to do even more food sources. The fishing, in my previous playthrough, the fishing worked really well. Maybe we just need more people working the fishing. Maybe that is what we need to do. What's saying? That's saying the food reserves are low. I still don't see anything on the horizon in terms of problematic weather, like the drought. You need to be mindful of the drought. That's always the issue. That is always the issue. Okay, so now is our food coming up? Slowly. Maybe once this guy comes out with another round, that would be good. Okay, forest is available, but people is the problem here. So I'll put 1 person onto forestry. Salvaging is kind of okay. So what I'll do is I'll remove 1 salvager there, and we'll maybe make 2 people in here. And what I'll do is we will say, so if we select the forager, I'm going to kind of move the work area to over here. You're going to be kind of on the edge of your work area, and I want you to cut and plant at the same time. That is the important thing for us here. So make sure that happens. Water is looking pretty good, at least for our first drought. That should be fine. Another adult is available, and that's a great thing that we've got another adult available. So we can build some other stuff. We could possibly actually have another adult work the fishing. I think that's probably a good idea. There we go. Something like that is probably a good idea. You need to have at least like 1 there. Maybe you don't need 1 there, but I think it's better to do that. Now we're almost full on water, which is okay. I'm not going to be worried about that too much. Food reserves is a big issue for us right now, but we also need to start looking at going through the scrap. So this is an interesting mechanic in this game. There you go. We've got a drought coming in 1, 2, 3, 4 days. So we need food, because both of these will stop producing food during the drought. But hopefully this thing will, oh, the soil moisture here is now dry, so it's growing even slower. So this is what I was kind of thinking, right? We've got big problem. So what does that mean? Oh, rain cloud or severe? I have no idea. Anyway, that's fine. We'll learn about that as we go. So the idea with this game is you can build a refinery or a recycler, and the recycler can then start creating Ooh, we also need herbs and stuff. Herbalist could be a thing that we need, but the recycler starts going through scrap to get these refined items: cloth, metal, plastic, and electronics. Coal is a whole different thing. You'll need to burn for coal. So anyway, so let's grab the recycler. We'll build one. I'm gonna go ahead and place that in this area over here. I wanted to do, yeah, let's do something like that. I think that's probably good. So let's start with the recycler over there. We'll give it a little bit of dirt road, like so. So we've kind of got our things going on over there. Then the recycler can start doing some stuff. It's raining, I believe, so hopefully the moisture level here is going to increase. Oh yeah, that's the rain cloud, so that's where the moisture goes. So this is why this is dynamic. So it really doesn't even matter where your field is. Oh, here it comes. Our field is gonna see a little bit of, oh, maybe not. Someone can't find water. Oh, but our protective gear is starting to become a problem now. We've added an extra child, so as you can see now, people are starting to grow, but we are slowly gaining on that, and once we start harvesting this, I'm hoping it should be much better. So the moisture levels is a big problem here, big problem. Okay, there comes the first rounds of kids, so we need more food more quickly. But with this thing up, we can start looking for cloth, and then we can start making some more protective gear with a tailor. So you just constantly have to be looking at what the next big thing is, but you can't let the basics slip though. It just doesn't work. You can't do it. You have to make sure that you're constantly adding as much as you possibly can. So with more people growing up, we can now have a refiner that will get us some cloth. You constantly need that. So we'll start generating some cloth, and then we'll start looking at building a tailor. Oh, we need another house. So it's just, you need to be on top of it all the time. Let's add one more house over there. We should start seeing some cloth come in. So what they basically do is they take the scrap and they use that to convert it into cloth. How do you see that? So it's one piece of scrap. Oh, actually gives you 4 pieces of cloth, but it takes a bit of time to get there. So once we have cloth, we can then start moving on to protective gear. Excuse me. Okay, I think it's rained here now. So now this is wet, so hopefully this will grow much quicker now. Oh, and we're harvesting. Excellent. So that should bring us in some food. More children coming in. Yeah, so food is a big ticket problem at the moment. Someone's saying they don't have water. I'm assuming it's the person that doesn't have a house either, because I think they kind of carry it to their houses. Very similar to what was the case in Banished, actually. How are we doing? The food thing is still worrying me tremendously. A lot of food being used by these people. So what are we looking at? Last season we did 180. So we're pretty, so it's about 60 fish per worker. And the first drought is there. I think we're going to hit that drought too hard, to be honest. I think what I need to do is probably get a bit of a forager going as well. So if we go at the food buildings, we can grab a gatherer's hut. Maybe that slot right over there is not too bad. Yeah, maybe that's what we want to do. Grab ourselves a gatherer's hut as well, so we can get some more stuff. Keep going. The gatherer's hut also doesn't work during the drought. The only one that would be, maybe the hunter would be a better one, but my experience with the hunters is that they're not very effective. Okay, what I'll do is I will... All of these numbers are kind of holding. The problem is we're not getting cloth quick enough. I think I'm going to reduce the number of water carriers by 1. And we're going to increase the number of fishers just a little bit so that we can see if we can get a little bit more going on there. I would be more comfortable if we can get this number to around 600. At the moment, I think it's a bit of a problem. A little bit of a problem. That number should be fine. If we're over 1,000, I think we should be fine with the water for the first drought. It's only a day. It's only a day's worth of drought. So we just need to make sure that we've got enough food to give everybody some meals during one day. It's pretty dry yet again, so now the food growth will be slow. And this is why the field thing was never, I never quite knew whether the field thing was really going to work. Unless you set up irrigation, but then that uses your water. So anyway, it's a very kind of rough balance that you need to set there. Okay, so let's grab 2. I can't really take off more people. So let's take yeah, we need 2 foresters, right? Anyway, how much do we have now? 1 gatherer. We've got no one doing the settling. Really, we should be fine. Should be fine. Maybe I'll trim back the forester by 1, so we at least have 1 person that can carry stuff around and so on. But we're not building anything just yet. Are we getting cloth? We're getting cloth. So the next thing we need to build is the tailor. So if we go here and say, well, resources, we'll grab the tailor and how much does the tailor cost? Some scrap, some wood, some cloth. We should be able to build that straight away. But yeah, our forester thing is a bit of an issue. So we could do, yeah, I think we're going to do that. Just so everybody is kind of close to the repository. Now, there's no builder around, which I believe is what they're saying here. Yes, so we need, so maybe the settler can bring this stuff over. So we'll have a look at what the settler does here. If the stuff is coming over, and then we'll switch over to builder after that. But for the time being, we need as many people as possible to be collecting all kinds of stuff for us. So that our food can come up. Our food is we've got 2 more days left, and we're nowhere close to what I think we need for food. So that's going to be an issue. Is the stuff coming in? Yeah. So the settler is doing his job, bringing the stuff around. So we should be able to switch him over to being a builder once everything is here, and then that should be fine. We're kind of micromanaging it for the time being. The tailor is going to become important fairly soon, so we need to, after this drought, the next big thing is going to be we don't have radiation gear. But again, we're struggling with our food, and the question is, do people have food in their houses? They in fact have food in their houses, so maybe the fact that the stockpile doesn't have that much food is not the end of the world. But I would feel much more comfortable if we can get that number up a little bit more. It just feels like it's just not quite there. We need more wood, but wood is going to become a problem. We need more, but at least there are 5 children that's going to become adults soon, and then that will go from there. More children coming in. Yeah, so that's why food is such a thing. How far are we from the drought? I think we almost need to start harvesting this so that we don't lose it. But it is growing pretty quickly now that it's wet. Do we have everything we need here? Not quite yet. Not quite yet. At least with we can just kind of manually cut down a bunch of trees if we need to. Okay, we've got everything we need over there. I'm going to go up here and we're going to say you're going to become a builder so that you can go and build that. We do need to trim back on some of this stuff. So what I think we do, we can build a lot of stuff during the drought because then all of these jobs are not going to work. So at the moment that feels okay. I'm pretty comfortable that we in fact start this harvest. Let's harvest the current yield, please. Go ahead and harvest that. I think they did start doing that. No more scrap available in this general area, so let's move the work area down here and we'll start clearing some stuff. Is there other areas that we want to clear also? No, I think this area over here, if we start clearing that area, that should be fine. Go ahead and clear that so we continuously add to the scrap pile. You should now be building this now that all the stuff is there. Anyway, if we have to build it during the drought, that's not bad. Okay, our food is slowly starting to look at a number that is a little bit more comfortable for me for anticipating this drought to come around. Excellent. So we've got some peppers coming in. Probably have some of this coming in. How much are you gathering actually? Mushrooms. So your yield, that is actually not bad. With 2 people only, the gatherer seems to be a pretty decent job, and the fish as well. So I'm not sure whether the fields is really the one that we want. We may pull people out of that and just put them on gathering and fishing. I think that might be exactly what we do. Okay, so now we've got that built. So we can potentially put a tailor in there now. But man, oh man, that's an issue. So no builder. And gee, we really need more people in forestry as well. For now, well, the tailor can already start doing some stuff here. So I'm not gonna trim back just yet. I'm not going to trim back. Oh, there's plenty of additional children starting to grow up over here. Oh, we're on season 8 already? So so every day seems to be a season. Okay, so maybe what we do want to do is set the seed to potatoes, because maybe we can get so much more food if we wait for that then. Well, let's set it to potatoes for the next one. The next seed will be potatoes. We'll try. Drought is on the way. I believe we'll make it. I believe we have just about enough stuff there for us to make it. But this game is really hard, and it gets tougher. This is, at the moment, it's still pretty easy going. We haven't had to deal with radiation at all. So really, it's been a pretty easy one. There we go. Well, the drought's going to come in. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to switch this one off. We're going to reallocate the farmers to what exactly? We don't need a builder, do we? Definitely a tailor. One tailor, I think, should do the trick. And maybe 1 to builder. And then we'll try and set up a few more things. Actually, no. Let's not do that. Let's do 1 to forester, so we can try and get a little bit more of that going on. Anyway, we'll cut down a couple of trees over here just to boost that number a little bit. The scrapyard, I think, is going pretty well. That number is kind of where we want it to be. These 2 can still fish and go ahead all that they want. Let's have a look. Remember to save. Yeah, that's fine. I did save just a little while ago. Not too bad. Okay, drought is on the way. I think we're pretty good. I think we're good. I think we're going to be fine. I think we're going to be fine. I think the potato yield might be pretty good too. What is this saying? Drought is approaching. Yes, the drought will be here in half a day, and our food has come up. So I think the field is not the one for us. So I'll just put 1 farmer onto that, and we'll move it on from there. For the time being, I think it's important that we start looking at some more houses. So I kind of pause the game all the time just to make sure that things don't get away from us too quickly. I'll grab 2 more houses over here, and we'll get us a little bit of a road connection to start running up here. Because as these kids grow up, we're going to need houses for them pretty quickly. I try to keep their houses pretty close together, so as we start delivering them services, that we don't have to build multiple buildings to do so. So I'm trying to be a little bit more intentional about where we place people. Okay, the food number is such that I am much more comfortable with it. Okay, as the drought hits us, which is going to happen right now, you're going to see this lake dry up completely. So we've got a few more pieces of food coming in. 10 children available now. These people are not playing. We get a lot of kids here very quickly, and that's part of what makes this game so difficult, is to literally double your population is a big thing. I mean, in terms of food and water, making sure everybody's got the stuff is an issue. So these guys are okay. So I didn't actually talk about. Okay, hang on. Pause. So there you see, it's now a drought. That thing is empty. This thing is empty. All right. There's no water whatsoever. None of these things work. So immediately, what we'll do is we'll shut down the fish, and we'll move. We'll move those fishers to probably a couple of builders, a couple of foresters. We can't do another refiner, maybe an extra tailor, so we can get through those things a little quicker. I believe we can go ahead and drop the water carriers because we don't have water production now for the next day, and we need to build a well because a well will provide you with water even during drought. But we'll get through one day. That's okay. So maybe a well is a good project for us to undertake at this time. We'll have a gatherers for a little bit longer, but then the stuff will all die out and we won't be able to gather that food. Actually, it's still working, but this should all start dying out. Yeah, I think they are. Yeah. As the drought comes closer, the moisture levels here was just a little bit higher. See, so the stuff is actually still surviving for a little while. Actually, that thing might continue to produce all throughout. That is not a bad. That's not bad. That's not bad at all. Okay, back to the tailor, where I was trying to discuss something. So as you can see, there's a range of stuff that you can create at the tailor. The one is just kind of a headscarf to help you with some basic stuff, and then there's an activated carbon mask, which also requires coal, so it can actually then help that out a little bit, protect the settlers from medium radiation, from low radiation. Okay, that's what it does. And then high radiation, you need a full radiation suit. So those become a lot more difficult to build. So we need to kind of slowly move ourselves over to activated carbon masks once we have sufficient wood, basically. This guy has still got some stuff to do, so I'll keep him going because there seems to be a fair bit of moisture in this area, so that's fine. That seems to be just great. Are we picking herbs as well? No. So we need a herbalist at some point so that we can actually get actually get the medicine stuff. Mr. Slug, strange, just joined the stream, but I can only see a blank screen. I think the bandwidth is really bad. That's something that I've kind of noticed. So I'm hoping if you change your quality, it might help out a little bit. But welcome to the stream anyway. If not, you can listen to my soothing voice. But yeah, it's obviously a bit of a problem that there's no screen, which is strange. I can't see anything on my side that says there's no screen going out. Everything seems to be fine over here. Okay, now we've lost the gatherer as well, so we'll remove those two over there. It's only going to be a little bit of time, then they're going to come back, but it's going to be a little longer. Soothing voice it is then. Yeah, absolutely. Okay, so where are we going to assign these two people? We need to build a lot of stuff, so let's assign a couple to builders. I don't think we can assign much more here. The salvager maybe a little bit more. That's something we can maybe do and salvage a little bit more stuff while we're at it. But I think we are doing as good a job as we possibly can at the moment. There's no one working here. Should there be someone working there? Is that a problem that there's no one working there? I don't know. Honestly, I don't know if there's a problem with that. But anyway, the water should come back soon, and then we can throw out some stuff. Weather, time of day, nighttime, drought. Okay, what we're going to do is we're going to go to water. We're going to get ourselves a well. And my idea is that we place the well very close to things over here. Something like that. No, probably on there. That'll be the well. Someone's out of water. Maybe I'll put one person on being a water carrier, just in case it has some kind of dynamic that I'm not aware of. Okay, so we're starting to produce radiation clothing. Oh, and here comes the adults in now. Okay, so as you see, we're getting out of the drought now. So I can immediately start assigning some of these new adults we have to all kinds of other stuff. And we'll do that. Are you still with a black screen, or is it a blank screen, or what's going on? Is it still an issue? Has it not popped up after a few minutes of low bandwidth or something like that? We need to keep an eye on the water level because we need to immediately move people into fishing as soon as that happens. Oh, the well is up and running, so we can definitely get a well keeper in place. That should be good. Oh, it's back. It's up. Excellent. I'm glad to hear that. Okay, that's good. I want to have a quick look. While the drought is on, are there any pools of water anywhere that maintains water? I just wanted to have a quick look at that. So all of these, they all seem to be completely dry. Or they all seem to be completely dry. So it really doesn't matter all that much. Okay, so that's okay. So we just need to get more wells up and running that can actually produce water for us as we go through the drought. Okay, so get through that. We've got the food and the stuff going. It's still pretty dry. Oh, nothing? That's not good. I don't know why. Anyway, this will be placed on YouTube fairly soon. So for those of you that's watching or trying to watch and not being able to see anything, this will be on YouTube. I really wonder whether bandwidth is so bad that this just isn't working. Okay, water has once again returned to our valley. The rains are coming, so what I'll do is I'll get a couple of people into the water carrier roles fairly quickly. We'll trim back on our builders just a tad, and we need to get our fishers out there straight away. Okay, I could probably trim back on the foresters a little bit, 2 at least. I think we can trim back on the salvages also. Get an extra water carrier in there, I think is a good idea for us. And then we'll need to put someone into farming. At the moment it's still pretty dry. Yeah, so it's still pretty dry. There's also still nothing for these guys to go on. So fishing is the only thing that I'm going to open up straight away. And then we'll keep an eye on our moisture levels. Here comes the rain. So as the rain comes in, moisture levels should return. This is a very cool dynamic. I like this a lot. Food is obviously low because we didn't produce a lot of food as we went through. There's some stuff... So we should be able to start this one off as well. We'll get one farmer in place. I think one farmer is going to be fine. Are you picking up some stuff that you can get? Missing berries, mushrooms, and roots. It should come in pretty soon. But yeah, so the dynamic is, with the field stuck the way it is, it's just going to be too difficult to manage that all the time. It's going to be a challenge. Okay, we need more houses straight away to accommodate all of these additional people that's going to start arriving. We definitely need much more food, so we're doing 4 on that one straight away. We should probably build a hunter's hut as well. I wonder whether the trees can actually survive through drought. That's something that I'm kind of wondering about. But yeah, the hunter's lodge may be something that we do. So let me grab that, place it in. Where exactly do we want to put this? Is it something like that? I kind of want to do this so that it's all fairly close together, all the foodstuffs. So let's place the hunter's lodge over there and we'll get that built. Okay, here comes the rains to our fields. Is this going to start? We'll probably... The fields are getting only the last little bits, I think. It is really dynamic. You really just have to keep an eye on it. We don't have any builders. Whoops. Just put the one in there. Hopefully they'll get the stuff that they need pretty quickly. Okay, and what's over here? We have run out of cloth, I believe. So potentially we can just reduce our workforce there just a tad. And the refiner is only like one, so we need to probably build yet another one. But yeah, potentially we need to do that. Let's build another refiner once this hunting lodge is done. Is there some stuff over here that you can go and collect? Oh yes, there you go. So we can open you up for business, and we'll add more people to go and work the gatherer. And once the hunter is done, we'll add some people over there as well. But it's difficult. But we'll have some more adults come in fairly soon. Okay, let's switch off the moisture screen because it's kind of clear that we're pretty decent on moisture at the moment. I'm not going to add any more than one farmer to this field. Okay, is our food numbers starting to come back up again or not yet? Seems like it is. Seems like it is holding steady. Our water is, however, dropping down a little bit. Do we put some extra water carriers on? I think we probably have to. But we just don't have the people. So as we get more and more adults, we'll have to do that. Also, now we need to start looking at some community facilities as well. The campfire, I think we can do. It takes a fair bit of our wood. But what I'll do is I will place the campfire in the... Oh, it doesn't quite rotate the way I wanted it to. But what we'll do is we'll place the campfire kind of in the middle over there. And we may add a market on the other side at a slightly later stage. But we'll start building that. Okay, we've got some kind of something going on over here. They want us to please get more scrap. And we will get tools from that, which is quite important, as well as lumber. Now, what I've seen is that this can be pretty distracting from what you're currently doing. But if we could potentially... Let's quickly have a look. So where are we working? There's still a fair bit of scrap to be collected over here. And we're not too far off from actually getting there. But yeah, it is a little bit more. So what it's basically saying is we need to assign more of our people to go and do the salvager role, which I'm not sure is necessarily the right thing for us to do. So if we maybe do that, but we definitely need more people to become adults first. So we don't have a nice stockpile there. So let's do that. We'll get 2 additional guys on salvaging, and I think that's about as best we can. That thing has been built, but we don't have anybody that can kind of work there just yet, unless we move someone off of something else. Maybe away from forestry. Let's grab 1 person away from forestry, and we'll add 1 person to the hunter role, and we'll see if that goes in. This thing needs to be built, so as soon as all of the stuff is arrived, I'll switch the settler over to doing that. I'm really hoping these potatoes will grow. I'm really hoping it will. Okay. And so for now, I think we're nearing the end of the stream. We're up to almost up to an hour now. So, and since it seems like there are issues with the black screen and stuff like that, what I'll do is I will try and rush this video out to YouTube as soon as possible, so that we can you can have a look at it. So we're still waiting on some wood to be brought here. I'm hoping the hunter is actually going to do some stuff and get us some food. This is growing, but slowly. Still planting is underway, and it's still pretty dry on most of this area. Yeah, we need the rain. We need the rains to come back. Okay, so that's not got everything there yet. Almost there, then we'll swap the guy over. But yeah, we need more houses also. Oh, we've got another adult that is ready for action, so we can actually assign 1 builder over there. How's our scrap going? How much time do we have with the scrap? 17 minutes. Yeah, no, we should be able to get the scrap up a fair bit in that amount of time. Food is continuously a problem, so we do need to see about assigning more of our people to that. Yet another adult has become available. So maybe that one needs to go over to become a hunter as well. Potentially gatherers will be also a good idea, but then once that campfire is done, we'll need to build another couple of houses. So let's grab housing, and at some point we can do houses with water tanks so that they're a little bit more resilient during drought, but for the time being we don't have plastic. We probably need another recycler as well, so let's grab that, get ourselves another recycler up and running over here, say, and then we should hopefully be able to create a little bit more stuff from the scrap. But that's it, guys. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you've enjoyed it. I hope you actually saw it. If not, please get to YouTube and we can have a look at it. You can have a look at the episode there. I'm really enjoying this game. It is quite challenging to maintain all those things. We haven't had any real die-offs and stuff like that just yet, but it's bound to happen. So I just hope we'll actually be able to survive this. Well, I don't know what the end game is like in this, but at least I'm hoping we'll survive until we have a pretty big settlement. So guys, thank you so much for watching. If you've enjoyed it, hit that like button, leave some comments down below, join us on the Discord, have some discussions there, come and tell me what you think of this series. Yeah, and just let me know what you think of this. Are you playing this? Are you playing any other survival games? While you're probably somewhere in isolation like most of us. Okay, so see you next time. Bye-bye.